As Willem said, I'm here today to talk a little bit about how we make books. Sometimes it can kind of seem like a mystery. Take a Word document and magically a book appears. It's not quite magic, but it does take a lot of work. We have a fantastic design team. Basically, we take those files, format them by hand, and send those to you so you can see what they look like. Text is very important in a book. As I'm sure all of you know by reading your own books and many other authors, you want to make sure that your text is clear. You don't want it to be too cluttered. You don't want large font in an adult book. 12-point font is ideal, as I'm sure many people know from reading emails. 12-point font is our standard. Also, don't want to have too many breaks in your book. You don't want to start reading and then midway through your sentence, nothing. A lot of your readers might get a little confused, but our designers do an excellent job of making sure that your text flows. Each designer that I have met and have worked with will know what is best for your book and are usually very open to your suggestions in choosing how you want your book to look and really what's going to sell the best for your book. Now, just because we work in text doesn't mean we don't know our art. There's a lot of things to remember for covers, but I've come up with a clever way to remember the best way to look for a good cover, and it's cats, which C is color. You want a striking color. You want color that's going to stand out to people, but at the same time, you don't want it to be too bright. A tangerine book may not always be the best option. A is arrangement. You want to make sure your images are arranged in a pleasing eye. You can have symmetrical or asymmetrical. You want to have your images balanced in a way that will show the most important factor first. Next is T, which is text. You want to make sure your text is interesting, but at the same time readable. Everyone loves a curly font, but that's not always the best choice for your book. You want to stick with fonts that represent your book, your genre, and what you're trying to convey to the audience. Finally, S, size. You want everything on your book to be sized appropriately. Some people prefer to have their title stand out. Others prefer to have their name stand out, where others prefer to have the image stand out. It's really whatever's going to work best for you and for your book. And I know our design team, as well as myself, takes time to look at each person's book and figure out what the best combination for your genre, for your title, for you yourself is going to be. We always, appreciate suggestions. If you're able to provide your own images, perhaps you're a photographer and you've taken your own photos and can submit those with proper release forms, that'd be fantastic to have your own picture on your book. Of course, the design of a book's important, but that's not the only thing you need to worry about. You want to market your book. You want to market yourself as an author. Yes, it's important what your cover looks like to an extent, but what's going to sell your book isn't a pretty picture, isn't going to be a beautiful flower scene, it's going to be you. The author really is the most important part of selling a book. They're what push the book, they're what people want to read. I can't stress enough how everyone needs to take the time to promote themselves. Become a celebrity. Start with your town. Start with your friends. Start with your family. Say, hey, read my book. Move on to a little bit farther of a neighborhood. Maybe through your state, maybe through your region. Eventually, your book will catch on because you have that power behind it. If you can promote yourself and you can promote your ideas and basically your name, become your celebrity, your book will sell. Now, I'm not saying you're going to sell 10,000 copies of your book. No one is going to become Stephen King overnight, as we've heard. No one's going to become Nora Roberts overnight. But what you should strive for is not to sell 1 million copies. Start with selling one. One's what it takes to get that person interested. Build from there. One person reads your book, they give it to another, and to another, and to another. And the important thing isn't the sale of your book, but it's getting your idea across. Because that's why people write books. They want their ideas, their thoughts, their feelings known. And that's really why we publish and why we hope that you publish with us. Thank you.